startup, everything will not be told. You will have to come and fix things, and think out of the box and create systems and processes. I mean, there is a the systems and processes and things are always evolving here, as and when we are growing. Success to me, coming back to your question, are those two things: realizing your potential and making a positive change in the society, yeah, and feeling happy and getting a good sleep at the end of the day. There is a reality and there is a I'll call it hype or a bubble or whatever. When we see that uh, the X company is doing Y revenues, and in valuation it is showing 1,000 into Y as the valuation or whatever. We know how valuations are done, and sometimes these valuations are, who does it and how they do it is very questionable. So whenever things go beyond a certain point of rationality, then correction needs to happen, be it stock market or be it any other thing. And that's what is happening, because there are investors there and there is a startup story and there is a valuation game. That's where the investors come in. They say, I'm putting in X, and I believe that this company is going to grow 20 times or 100 times in 5 years. So in 5 years time or in 3 years time, if I'm putting X, I'll walk away with 5X or 10X or whatever. That's the simple.
Dhiraj, welcome to Vision Board. And so in this season two of Vision Board, where we are covering the green heroes of India and who are contributing in the especially in the sustainability space. So Dhiraj, my first question is that I believe you spent almost 2 decades in the corporate side. So what prompted you to start your entrepreneurial journey? So we'll begin with this question.
Okay, thanks, Arindam, for having me here today in your forum. And coming straight away to your first question, you're right. I have spent about 25 years in the auto industry, and I've worked with many of the leading brands, both from India and international brands like Honda Cars, Mahindra, Castrol, Daewoo Motors, and then of late, last 10 years, I've worked with Bajaj Auto and Hero MotoCorp in the international business, where I was heading Africa and Middle East region as the regional head, managing exports business and developing those markets for these brands. Uh, for the last many years, it was, in my mind to do something entrepreneurial. Number one, and number two, a few years back, say about 4 years back, I met my co-founder partner right now, Amit Das. Met in Delhi while I was with Hero, and he met me for some technology transfer, regarding the automobile sector from Germany, and with that, and I connected him to the right person in R&D Hero, and that proceeded to a certain level and then fizzled out. But meanwhile, we became friends and we realized that our frequency matches as far as green mobility is concerned. And, and also electric vehicle, which was an exciting field, which was growing. And then coming to this particular concept of multi-brand, which I shared with him that I've been watching it and managing multi-brand businesses in so many countries outside India for so many years for these big brands of Indian OEMs, and I've always been wondering as to why we do not have this back here in India. And I discussed with Amit and our other co-founder, which is Guido. He's a German. That can we, think of doing this kind of a model here in India, and they resonated with my thought. And in fact, they also added their research, which they had been doing, and that's when we thought of starting this. And I left my job about 7 months back,
Okay.
While had already started it, they were asking me to join, and I took some time to join. And now, about 7 months back, I joined here as co-founder and CEO.
But how old is this Electric One as an entity?
Yeah, it's about 2.5 years old.
2.5 years. Okay.
Yeah, I think the company got formed in May 2020.
Okay.
That
Okay.
was at the peak of the pandemic.
Peak of the pandemic.
Yeah, and that's when it was formed, and they started it in a small way. Amit and they were doing, and there were certain other team members, and they used to discuss obviously with me, for my suggestions, etc., and also asked me to join it, and I took some time to join. So slowly and gradually, it started, taking momentum. The network started growing, the business model got established, and that's when they asked me that, can you join, because we need your experience.
Experience in the
Yeah, and I think it's a great concept. And obviously, when you are well settled in a corporate career, high paying job, and doing well there as well, it's a difficult choice. But at the end of the day, the excitement to do something of your own and to contribute to the green, mobility cause was bigger than the safety and security.
Yeah.
So I left that.
So what's the main behavioral shift that you have made from corporate to this entrepreneurial journey?
Well, corporate is very well structured, number one. So, and most of the big brands are quite evolved, and all the process and systems are well in place. You only need to focus on one, section, which is your particular function. Say you have to manage distributors, appoint distributors, and ensure that the sales targets are achieved, and devise strategies for achieving that sales target or marketing plan or product plan, etc. Here it's a 360-degree. I mean, you are like on a ship, and you have to steer the ship every day morning. A new wind direction flows, and you have to maneuver the ship accordingly. So right from managing finances to developing the team, to finding out offices, to meeting dealer prospects, to meeting investors, meeting so many other stakeholders, government stakeholders. We have more than 20 brands who are in collaboration with us in this. So about 20 OEMs, who are manufacturing their own products, which we are selling under our banner, under our Electric One brand. So we are like the Chroma of the EV space. So
so
that's the concept, in case you are not aware of. So we have now about 90 dealerships across 76 cities, not wrong. And it's like you go to Chroma, you enter Chroma, and you find n number of brands for any particular product that you are looking for, and you finally see and ask questions and select one brand, and you buy it and go home. Same thing we have tried to do in EVs.
Okay. So you guys selling a multi-brand?
It is a multi-brand offering, yes.
Okay. Somewhere I read that I know that it's an omni-channel approach that you guys are taking, right? You have the online e-commerce also, and also the.
We are not doing e-commerce till now. We will be doing that. That's a very easy thing to do. We are focusing on the physical selling and after sales part right now, giving good customer experience. And that's what, because EV is a very new segment. Most of the potential customers have a lot of questions on EV. Online, it is not just possible. So they somehow hear from somewhere that this is the store where I can get EV. They come here, they'll ask multiple questions about the category, about the product, about after sales service, and then they make the purchase decision. So all these things are not possible online. Online is the easier part. We have a very good website. We are coming out with our app later this month. And online is just to enable the whole process. But online is not the only thing. Online, obviously, we are present. We are coming out with a unified app. It will have all charging points mapped into it, so our user can tap in and see where the nearest charging point is, like Google, and he can go there and then he can use a QR code and charge his bike or three-wheeler or whatever. And then so many other aspects like insurance renewal, your service reminders, how many kilometers you run, anything on retail finance, anything on offers, reward programs, nearest dealership, nearest service center, parts and accessories, any new additions there, or you want to order there, some point accumulation on the reward system, so on and so forth. I mean, it will be a very exciting, unified app that we are going to launch.
Okay.
And of course, website is already there, from where we get a lot of inquiries for dealerships as well as for sales. And we are present in social media in a very strong fashion. Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, etc.
Okay. Okay.
So many touch points we have. There's a toll-free number in inbound calls can happen.
Okay. And you guys are mainly like serving across India or any particular region that you are focusing? Like,
as I mentioned, we are present in 18 states, almost 76 cities.
Great.
From Jammu and Kashmir down till Tamil Nadu and Kerala, right from Rajasthan and Gujarat, Surat, Ahmedabad, to Manipur, Imphal, and Patna, Jahanabad. We are present everywhere.
Now, in 2 years, and this kind of a scalability, what was the your core mantra of the leaderships of this company? Like,
so core mantra has been to first of all, the first phase was testing the business model. We think that this model will work here. Now there are 2-3 key stakeholders. First was the OEMs. So we got hold of about 8-10 OEMs who believed in this model. They said, yes, we'll join hands with you. Let's have an agreement, and if you are making a dealership, we will supply products there. Okay. Then there is a dealer who's putting his hard-earned money into it. Anywhere between 25 lakhs to 45 lakhs is what the dealer needs to put in, depending on which format he opts for. Then you need to get a dealer who believes in this model. So there were initial, believers who came forward. And when they had a good experience and they recommended to others, by word of mouth, it started propagating, and then more and more dealers started to come. Obviously, any dealer who comes, he comes and meets us, and he has hundreds and hundreds of questions and doubts and queries, which we were, I think, able to successfully address. And then we developed teams, we developed processes for after sales, etc., and got good products. And that's how the whole, I think the momentum started coming in. More and more dealers started signing in. So that's how it has been. And luckily for us, despite we sitting here in Gurgaon and not having regional offices, we got inquiries from all across. And now we have put in place a team in the West, a team in South, and very soon a team in East and North. We are ourselves sitting here. So that's how, it is progressing.
Now in India, like if you see as a normal consumer, like EV scooter versus EV car. Now EV scooter, because that charging station, like you can use your home, that electric point and all, versus the EV car where you have to invest and create a separate setup. So what trend that you see here, that why the adoption rate of EV scooter is so high versus the EV car?
Yeah, the answer is very simple, because in EV scooters, there is a very simple charging mechanism which you can do it in a very flexible manner. So in 90% of the bikes, of the models available right now, the battery is detachable. It's a lithium-ion battery, and it is swappable. It is detachable. You can just detach the connector and pull the battery and take it to your home or to your nearest place where there's a simple 3-pin plug available. And there is a simple light adapter, charging whatever adapter you can call it. It is slightly bigger than your laptop charger, the adapter. And you simply plug it in, and in 4 hours or 4.5 hours, the bike gets charged, say overnight. And then you just take it and move around. Whereas in cars, the battery size is bigger, the charging, point, more or less, sometimes it's not there. So either you install a charger, which is a fixed charger at your place near your garage, or you go for public, charger, which is either there uh, in your residential society somewhere, or you get it installed in your office or in your parking lot, etc. So that's the thing. That's why this EV two-wheeler, because of its simplicity of charging, the adoption has been faster. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, because I was just going through one report that it's saying that currently we are maybe fifth largest, and by 2023 that India will be third largest. But do you think that from the infrastructure point of view, we are ready to take that leap in this EV space?
Yes, so I can safely say that a lot of work is going on now that I'm in this industry. I can see from government side as well as from the private players, and a lot of big players have are getting into this. The likes of Reliance and Adani and Tata Motors, Mahindra, all these PSUs. HPCL is installing lakhs and lakhs of charging points across their petrol pumps. Tata Power is setting up charging points in a big way. So, and so many other players like Exicom and so many other players. I don't remember the names. But they keep we keep meeting them. A whole lot of work is going on, but obviously setting infrastructure from scratch in a country as big as ours, it will not be visible for some time. But slowly and gradually, you will start seeing, at petrol pumps, at various other places. I think in a 2 to 3 years' time, we'll have a robust
EV
infra. Yeah.
EV infrastructure. So you definitely that if you see that from last 2 years, you were saying the growth and all. What's the role of the importance of team? When you build the team structure, how do you align your team to the overall organization vision of the goal?
Okay. So yeah, I got your point. So basically, a very right question. So in any organization, team is the most important thing, your human resource, and more so in startup, because in startup your resourcing has got constraints. You cannot have a very large team to begin with. So the recruitment or hiring or picking up a team becomes all the more critical. You need to have those guys who have the right attitude to be a part of a startup system. So while a person like me or my partners, Amit and Guido, they've all been in the corporate for decades. But switching to this was not that difficult because we had maybe an inherent entrepreneurial attitude in us. But same cannot be said for the team that you are picking. Okay, so they need to have a shared vision and they need to believe in the business. If they are skeptical about the business, that okay, right now I'm looking for a growth. Okay, so there is a job here in this company, Electric One. It's a startup, but it is giving growth. Let's see how it goes. They don't believe in the model, and they always have questions, or they always compare with a structured company which has been there for 30, 40, 50 years. Then I think there's a mismatch. There's issues because in startup, everything will not be told. You will have to come and fix things and think out of the box and create systems and processes. I mean, there is the systems and processes and things are always evolving here, as in when we are growing. There is no set guideline here that okay, you come in the morning and these are the 10 things.
There's no set guideline, definitely.
It is there, but then you need to add value to it. There should be people who should have some entrepreneurial instincts in them, and we do not mind if they spend 2, 3 years here and go off and make their own startups. That in fact will be a good thing. We are not. We think that if the guy is good enough to go and start on his own, then obviously he will contribute here.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's the thought that we have, and we are fortunate to have such a team.
That's very important, especially the pain point that you've raised. I think most of the startup, similar challenge.
It is a challenge. It is a challenge getting a right team and the right mindset.
right mindset, and most importantly, that attitude. You can teach someone, like someone very skilled, but if that person doesn't have the right attitude, it's very difficult to get aligned with the overall.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
very.
if someone keeps only looking for directions that, someone micromanages that, okay, you do this X, Y, Z,
Mm,
and it won't work maybe.
mm,
You are told that this is your story, go and write it. Okay, these are the ingredients. Given you the pen, I've given you paper, I've given you money to order food and sit there and write the story. You go and write the story.
yeah.
Rather than coming back to me that, boss, I've written 2 lines, now you check
Now you check.
right or not. Then
Yeah.
I'll write the third line.
Yes.
So
Yes. That's the, I think, challenge the most of the, entrepreneurs in India. Now, come back to the startup. Like, in last 3-4 years, startup was the buzzword, right? And every second day we're seeing, okay, now this company become unicorn, so much billion got invested. But couple of months we're seeing that trend is getting reversed. Do you see it's a market correction, or do you see the any other aspects is involved
it's a
because of?
market correction because whenever there is a reality and there is a, I'll call it hype or a bubble or whatever, when we see that uh, the X company is doing X, Y revenues,
Mm,
and in valuation it is showing 1,000 into Y as
mm,
the valuation or whatever. We know how valuations are done, and
yeah.
sometimes these valuations are, who does it and how they do it is very questionable. So
Mm,
whenever things go beyond a certain point of rationality, then correction needs to happen, be it stock market or be it,
yeah.
any other thing, and that's what is happening because there are investors there and there is a startup story and there is a valuation game.
Yeah.
That's where the investors come in. They say, I'm putting in X, and I believe that this company is going to grow 20 times or 100 times in 5 years. So in 5 years' time or in 3 years' time, if I'm putting X, I'll walk away with 5X or 10X or whatever.
Mm,
That's the simple thing. Okay, they are here to invest and to multiply.
mm,
Uh, where they maybe make a mistake is, making irrational valuation,
yeah.
and then that puts in a vicious circle of expectations from the startup
Expectation.
also.
Mm,
Of course, this is the valuation we've done. Now you need to deliver.
mm, mm,
And then when he comes there for second round or third round of funding, then they'll say that, okay, now there's a problem. I
mm,
said I wanted this much because I valued you that much.
mm.
Not done.
Yeah.
So that's where the issue is. So maybe irrational valuation game is not sustainable,
Yeah.
but there is a sense of some kind of a rationality around the valuation game. I mean, most of the uh, players who are strong are still around and doing well.
Yes.
There is a startup like Nika which was profitable even before it
Yeah. Yeah.
for IPO.
Mm,
There is a startup like Physics Wala who
mm. Yeah. Yeah.
did not know what unicorn means and it
Yes.
became a unicorn.
It's profitable. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
there are people who are doing business still with the basics of the business, and we, after having so many gray hairs, are also trying to do the same.
Yeah.
We are not freshers out of the college
Yeah.
who will simply try to do things just to gain valuation.
In valuation.
We have a vision, shared vision. We've come into this to, give momentum to the green economy, to reduce pollution, to move the country towards net zero goal,
Yeah.
and maybe to give our next generation a good environment here to live in.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's the objective. Otherwise, we were all quite happy in our jobs,
Yes.
and, 9 to 5, getting
Yeah.
the first of the month.
Yes. So my last question, Dhiraj, it's more personal, that for you, uh, you know, what's the definition of success for you?
Okay, these are all very philosophical questions, and everyone has their own philosophical.
Yes, that's what I'm asking this question.
Yeah, but yes, but now with having spent so many years in the corporate life, I can say that to me, success would be that there are two layers. First layer is and very philosophical. I don't know whether you
it's
relate
completely
Success to me is realizing your potential which God had given to you when He created you. So most of the lives we spend without knowing what potential we have.
Potential, yes.
Most of the lives, 99.9% of the people will stay put in a job that just because that gives them a security of a paycheck at the end of the month, and they were made for a bigger thing. They could have made change to the society by going on their own or whatever they believed, truly within their heart, but they could not take that step or that risk, so-called risk they call it. It was a risky thing. When I resigned, hundreds of friends, they were shocked. I mean, what happened? The obvious thing is either something went wrong in his corporate career. That's why he left, or he was asked to leave, whatever. The second thing is, if you left, oh my God, that's a big risk. Why did you take this risk? I mean, what was the need, etc., etc. So I think success is finding out your true potential and living up to it. I mean, God has given you some potential, thinking something maybe. And second thing is that if you made some change to the society at large, some positive change is what I mean, then there is success. I'll not say that it was not success when you work in the corporate world. I mean, I used to feel so proud all these 10 years when I used to travel to Africa in Bajaj and in Europe. Seeing an Indian homegrown brand running there and being a household name cannot be a bigger pride. From the immigration in Nigeria and in Kenya, if you tell you are from which company, Bajaj, oh, boxer. Yeah, it is that popular. So it gives you pride that, it's not that we talk of multinational companies. We have Indian multinational companies now. The Tata Motors, the Mahindra, the Hero, TVS, Bajaj. They are all, made here, and they are multinationals. Young startups like Oyo. Oyo operates in about 30 or 40 countries, if I'm not wrong.
Exactly.
Ritesh Agarwal founded it at the age of 21.
Yes.
Coming from a small town.
Yes.
That's success.
That's the success. Exactly.
Yeah. Ola, someone like Bhavish, dreaming so audaciously. I mean, he could have also been in the corporate world, and he's saying that I'm building future factory. There's so many negatives, so many negative things also written about him. But I'll just say one thing, that he's dreaming big.
He's dreaming big.
And I was there last week at the Ola head office. You can see the energy there. They've done something, and they're creating something big. Obviously, when you dream something big, initially there will be hurdles.
There will be, yes.
Okay. Yes. Ather has built the products from scratch. 8 years they took. So this is the kind of big audacious goals that now our entrepreneurs have started taking, and this is the enabling environment that the government or our policymakers have created finally, which exists in the US and the Silicon Valley, and that used to cause all this brain drain from IITs going there. Now it is all there. This VC environment,
it was
venture capital funding, PE funding, etc., whatever, seed funding, seed idea, and it was not there 10 years back. Now that it is there, people right there in the college, right from the time they get enrolled into undergrad engineering or management or whatever, commerce, they start thinking, they say, I'll do my own startup as soon as I get out of the college. And then there are programs, they can get money if they have good ideas. People are getting money to do that. So their ideas are not nipped in the bud.
Yes.
I think success to me, coming back to your question, are those two things: realizing your potential and making a positive change in the society, and feeling happy and getting a good sleep at the end of the day.
Yeah, that is most important. Getting good sleep at the end of the day.
And living a healthy life.
Healthy life.
Yeah.
Great. It's a great conversation, Dhiraj, and thank you very much for taking out time and joining this initiative where we're trying to cover the green heroes of India. And yeah, have a nice day.
Thanks, Arindam. I want to thank you and your team as well and you especially for starting this initiative. And you are most welcome to have a cup of coffee at our office.
Sure, definitely.
In this side of the town.
Yes, definitely will come.
All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you.